Lately we've been talking about downtime and what we do in our downtime. Well, today in this video, I have repacked and reorganized my Stay Put bag. And we're going to go through that, and then we'll go into some other things. But first of all, here's a word from our sponsor. Alright, so I'm going to go through this bag and I'm going to go through some of the stuff. I'm going to explain how I reorganized it, why I reorganized it, and why I chose the stuff that I choose to carry in my Stay Put bag. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it over and weigh it. And you'll be surprised at how much it weighs and what is exactly in it. Now, the weight capacity for this machine, you've heard us talk about it before. So the weight capacity in the bed is 250, no more than 300 pounds. So we've already weighed all the things that we put on back, and I was sitting at like about 280. Now, some of the stuff that I was able to reorganize and put in this bag was taken out of the bed of the razor here. Okay, so just by doing that, I freed up not only space, but a lot of weight off the back and moving it to the front. This is when I'm riding solo. So when I'm doing that, I'm allowed to put about 200, 225 pounds in this seat, on this side, inside the cab. The same thing with that side. Not only does this Stay Put bag go in here, but I'll also put a small red cooler in the floorboard. I'll put my plastic eating table on top of that, and then I still have room to put another dry bag on top of that and underneath this. So that works out well. So first of all, let's take it over. We're going to weigh it. And then I'm going to put it on the tailgate, and then we're going to go through some of the stuff that's in it. All right. Let's weigh this. All right. Now, let's see what we've got here. If you can't see what it's saying, we'll do a zoom in on it, but this pack right here, the way it sits, weighs 50 pounds by itself. You can tell I'm on breath. Okay, so let's put it on the tailgate, go through it, and we'll see what all I got in there. All right, so welcome back, folks. We just got back from a break. And we're ready to go through the bag here. So everyone's Stay Put bag is going to differ a little bit as what type of things they use in it, what they carry, why they carry it, so on and so forth. But they're all basically the same. You need the basics, which are way to make fire, or maybe a backpacking stove so that you can cook. You need shelter, which can be as simple as a tarp, or you can carry a tent. And you're going to need warmth, of course, at night. So sleeping bag maybe. And you're going to need food. And the amount of food that you're going to need, I would carry at least enough for 72 hours. Okay, now, is that going to be in coolers and so on and so forth? No, because it's not going to last, especially during the summertime. But what you can carry is dehydrated food, things like top ramen or noodle ramen, whatever it's called. That's got a lot of carbohydrates in it. You can carry instant mashed potatoes. You can carry Spam. Of course, Spam comes in a can, but you can also get it in packets. There's lots of options there that you can have enough food in your bag here for 72 hours and be able to make bouillon cubes is another one. I'll show you, that's what I carry. So I'll show you some of those in a minute. So anyway, let's start going through this stuff. All right, so we'll start with the most obvious thing, and that's this on top. Now, earlier I talked about reorganizing and repacking and to get the desired amount of equipment, the kind of equipment, the weight limit, and the space limit, down as close as we can. So these two items were in the toolbox on the back of my rig there. One of them is my tent, and one of them is my sleeping bag. Now the tent is a small tent, but it's a 4-season tent, and it works very well, and it's very easy to set up. The sleeping bag is actually, since it's summertime now, is just a 50-degree sleeping bag. It'll keep you warm down to 50 degrees. Well, it's probably not going to get down to 50 degrees, but it might, and cold fronts do roll in. So anyway, I've got it there if I need it. Okay. The next thing here is my two-way radio. Okay, I carry a handheld two-way radio that's programmed with the same channels that we use in the buggies, and the reason is because we have a rule of thumb. If we were to break down, if we were to break down, the furthest we're going to walk is probably about 100 yards. We're going to be 100 yards around there, and that would be to find a proper campsite, that's not too rocky, that maybe is not on the side of a hill, it's a plateau somewhere. So we're going to walk away from our rig up to 100 yards. Hopefully we can still have line of sight of the rig, and we're going to mark the trail. But anyway, that's another video. So anyway, I take this radio with me, and if someone is on the way, then I'll turn it on just about before I think that they're going to arrive to listen for them in case they're trying to get a hold of me. Also, it's got a weather radio. It's got all 10 weather channels in there, and it works really well. I've used those before. And then it's also got an FM radio. So you can listen to what's going on locally and so on and so forth if you wanted to. I also carry an extra battery in this bag. Okay, so what's the next thing? Okay, so this is just an all-around camp knife. It's just for using around camp, whatever you need it for. And it's got a fire striker right here that works really well. I've used it. Okay, and I got carabiner on it. That's just to hang the pack from. And then right here, we use this quite a bit. Let me get into this. I'll peel those back. Okay, and this is a hatchet. I carry one in my pack, and I carry another one on the rig. And the reason why I do that is for splitting wood, so on and so forth. I use 2 of them. But this works really well. It's nice and sharp, and it's compact. So I take one of those with me. Now, for clearing brush and stuff, I also carry a machete on the machine. And if I needed that, I could take that with me, but I really don't need it because I've got a hatchet or 2 hatchets. So anyway, the next thing here is, okay, so we talked about having a way to start a fire and cook. This is from learned experience. Now, again, Rooster and I, this is alcohol for stoves. It's a fuel bottle. So Rooster and I went on a 6-day adventure, and it was about, I think it was December 15th when we went. Went for a week, and it was cold. And we went to a Buffalo Riders Ranch up there, and it was cold. Well, it was so windy that I didn't know if if my tent was going to hold up or be blown away. We really had to anchor them down, and it was certainly too windy for a campfire to be able to cook anything or to even make a fire. Now, this right here works well if you're in an environment where it's just rained and everything's soaked and you don't have anything dry. This little stove right here works very well, and you've got this fuel right here is plenty, okay? Now, if you're in an environment like we were up there at Wilderness Buffalo Ranch where everything's wet and it's super windy, then I have another stove for that. And if you're going to be going, you know, during storm season, then you have to be prepared, you know, for any kind of weather. So let's open up this main compartment first. Okay, we're going to stick that over there. Let me put this in the back. All right, we'll peel this open. All right, so this is my Free Soldier tarp for whatever I need it for. I use it to cover up the tent and have an awning out front, like if it's raining or something, so I don't have to sit in the tent. I can sit, you know, in front of the tent and be covered. And also I can make an A-frame. I can do anything with it, and it works really well. Okay, so here is a propane bottle. That's for the next stove that's coming out. In here is just a plastic poncho. But usually I try to carry a set of rain gear if I can. I don't have any at the moment. Okay, and these are stakes, and I'll get to them in a minute. Okay, so the neatest little item that I have here probably, put that over there. The neatest little item that I have here probably is this Stanley, it's actually Stanley cookware. All right, so I talked about the bouillon cubes and the top ramen. I carry a bag full of that. And then I also carry coffee in there. And these are